Well, for those of you who watched the video about my house, I ended it with a teaser showing a large box in the back of a trailer and left you guessing what it was. If you guessed right, it's a server rack and it's going into one of the spare rooms of the house. I spent 20 years in the IT industry and I always liked having a dedicated server room, which I have done in different ways previously. At my shed, I had a dedicated server room in an old caravan. However, when I retired from the IT industry, my existing server and NAS equipment wasn't really being utilized. Hence, I have some leftover computer equipment that I will be utilizing here, and I will have some unique ideas planned as to how the server room will function, which I will reveal in future videos. The rack I bought is 45 RU high, which is a bit taller than normal, and it's 1.2 meters deep, which also is much deeper than a normal rack. When I researched it, I knew it was just high enough for the room it was going in. However, I forgot about the doorways and hence it wouldn't fit through. I did realise this after ordering it, but before it arrived. However, I have in the past dismantled a rack and reassembled it, so that was my plan. Well, it turns out that this rack has a lot of spot welds and could not just be disassembled. Luckily, we had planned to replace all the windows with double glazing, so it was a simple matter of removing a window and bringing it through. However, because it was so deep, we needed to remove the bottom glass pane as well, which wasn't an issue as this whole window was being replaced anyway. So with all that done, it was relatively easy bringing it through the window, and once inside, I just patched up the bottom section with some wood and put the existing window back in place. The house I bought is in a small town of 1,300 people. Louise and myself both work at a nearby regional city, which is a 40-minute drive. So, because we're spending a lot of time away from home, my main goal initially is to install a security camera system so I always know what is going on. This meant I needed to run network cables from all the security cameras back to the server room. It's one of those jobs I wasn't entirely looking forward to, but it had to be done. The first couple of cables I ran through in the ceiling, I was moving planks of wood along and I soon realised this was pretty slow. So I decided to buy some lengths of decking pine and screw them down so I could just slide along my back. Seeing as I was going to run 12 cables in total, this was a worthwhile investment. Also, it saved the electrician time when they came and did a bunch of work as well. For the cables entering the server room, I decided to use 50mm communication pipe with bushings on each side so I can drop the cables directly in from the ceiling. Once I've run all the cables into the room, I'll simply pack the air gap with some foam to seal it up, allowing me to add more cables later if needed. I'll also be leaving a nice amount of excess to allow me to move the rack away from the wall and work on it as needed. I also used another 50mm comms bushing at the top of the rack where the cable enters in and painted it black to match the rack. Anyways, this all worked pretty well. I connected up the security cameras and used the phone app to help me align them while I was up the ladder. Initially, the cabling wasn't the tidiest, but the hanging network loom from the ceiling, I used hook and loop generously to keep it organised. Here's what it looked like before I actually moved in. This is somewhat organised with just the security camera system running and the internet connected. In the next video, I'll be installing all of my actual network equipment and revealing the big plan for what else I'll be using the rack for. If you've got any ideas on what my plans are, drop a comment below and let us know. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time. Bye!